All right, welcome to our lesson. We're talking sines and cosines today, specifically graphs of sine and cosine. They're very closely related. So here's a little, just an activity I want to introduce. Not an activity, but just kind of illustrate where does this graph come from. A lot of you have already seen, I'm sure, graphs of sine and cosine. So here's a circle on our left, basically a unit circle. If I move through points on that unit circle, it gives us the angle and it tells us the value of the sine of that. And I want you to see how it corresponds. So as my x value increases, basically my angle increases. Notice what the y value is doing until it hits a maximum right there, 90 degrees if I can find it. And then notice the y value starts dropping until we get to 0 when we're over there at pi or 180 degrees. And then you keep going down there, 270, we hit a min, -1, and then notice it keeps coming back up. Well, we've gone through one complete cycle, or we call that a period. Then notice if I keep going, it would just repeat. Now, I wish it would actually draw it out here on the side. You'd be able to see that it just repeats, repeats, repeats. But that's what happens. Cosine is very closely related, okay? Now, let's jump over to Desmos.com. And let me show you. I've already graphed a couple. And you could do these on your calculator as well if you've got a graphing calculator. So sine is our red graph here. Cosine is the blue graph. Now I want you to just look at those. Don't they look about the same? They are. The only difference, notice, cosine is shifted from sine. Or sine is shifted from cosine, however you want to look at it. So sine starts here at the origin. Cosine starts up here at 1. Now, a couple things I want to point out on Desmos. Again, you've seen some of this before. You can roll your mouse, zoom in and out. But I want to go show you something cool. If you click on these graphs, it'll come up and show you some key values, and it'll actually give it to you in radians. That's really cool. So there's a maximum at pi halves. There's a maximum of 1. There's a 0. There's a 0, negative pi, so it gives you the key values. If I click on the other one, same thing. Gives me maxes, gives me mins, gives me intercepts. That's really cool. If I click up here on this wrench, notice I'm in Radian mode right now. And most of the time when we're graphing these trig functions, you'll want to make sure you're in Radian mode. It defaults to that on Desmos. Our calculators are usually radians as well, but we've probably changed them with some things we've been doing. So you always need to look at that. Now here's a cool thing I want to show you. On the x-axis, you can do it on the y too, but a lot of times it's helpful to break things into terms of pi. Okay, so have labels, and so I'm going to go, and it did it automatically there. I'm just typing 2 pi. Now you can go steps, and so you can tell it what increments you want to see. So a lot of times it's helpful to break this down into like pi 6th, maybe I'll put there. Now let me just get out and show you. Now can you see what's going on? So each of these lines, it's broken up now. We can see different increments in terms of pi, which is really cool. Now you could break it down again. You could do pi, maybe I'll just do pi halves for now, okay? So we got pi halves there, pi, 3 pi halves. Anyway, you can type different things there. That just helps to visualize. Of course, you could change the y-axis as well if you kind of wanted to zoom into this thing. So a couple key characteristics here. And I'd really encourage you. I hope you're already familiar with Desmos, but this will be a great tool for us as we study these graphs. Couple key characteristics. Sine. What's the period, right? So if it starts right at 0, well, it takes 2 pi rads to go through one complete cycle. How about cosine? Starts here, 2 pi rads, same thing. They both have a period of 2 pi. We've mentioned that before. What's their domain? Well, they keep going. If you drag the graph either way, they just repeat, repeat, repeat. And so domain, all real numbers. How about our range? Notice they just bounce back and forth. Minimum, -1, max, +1. Max, +1, min, -1. So they have a range of -1 to 1. Let's go summarize a couple things here on this next slide.